Minnesota Wild and Kaprizov. There hasn't been any chatting at all. And, this is the great thing about Michael Russo is when Michael Russo tweets something, everyone in the hockey world must listen. And, for a long time, the Wild were one of the least interesting teams in the NHL because they had two players making all the money. And then it was like, we might make it. Hopefully we make it past the first round this year. But now that those players are gone and they've got 2 years to make it happen before the cap recapture kicks in. That's literally Bill Guerin's timeline here. He must make this happen now. Kaprizov knows it. It's Russo's breakdown on The Athletic on this is insane.
It's a built-in Last Dance.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what, to me, if you don't have the Minnesota Wild on your radar as the most exciting franchise over the next 24 months, they could break the league. This could be insane.
Okay, they're buyers.
Yeah.
Every time it comes up, they're buyers.
They're buyers. How smart they are with their buying those guys.
Who's in on this player? Minnesota. Who's in on this guy? Also Minnesota.
So, Michael Russo, the first quote of the article about what's it going to take to get Kaprizov done. Guerin, sounding exasperated, says, there are going to be some obstacles.
Interesting.
Now, when you are competing against a Russian offer from a player who grew up in Siberia, so you have to understand where this player comes from, right? Siberia is a tough place, and it's a cold place. So this player, for a lot of us, whoa, Russia, that's kind of scary. And you talk, I think Ryan Whitney wrote something in the Players Tribune years ago about what it was like to play in Russia.
Oh, every story is wild.
Jamie McLennan, I remember him on TSN 1050 years ago when he just started. And he was talking about how his driver, I guess, picked him up from the airport, and there was another American or a Canadian in the car, and they got out because the driver got into a fight with somebody I think I'm misquoting him here, but the driver got into a fight with somebody on the highway, and they both pulled out guns on each other. They were just yelling at each other, and Jamie's like, "What the hell?" And this guy's like, "Dude, it's Russia. Everybody's a gun."
That's what okay, kids, close your ears. What I've noticed about fight videos on the internet is if they come out of Russia, there's no preamble. They don't puff out their chest and push and go, call you a bunch of... No, they walk into the fight. They walk into... There's no, I'm gonna... They don't explain to you that they're going to kick your ass. They simply kick it.
Right. They don't talk. They just... Business.
Yeah, and so they'll talk during the fight.
So Kaprizov is from an area of Russia that's really hard to live in. It's where they used to... It's where the Russian government sent Joseph Stalin when they were trying to punish him. Siberia was a Russian penal colony up until the 20s. And probably
Siberia is
after.
also enormous.
It's enormous,
which I did not realize.
Yeah. So he's probably...
It's got
It's not from the super northern tip. But we're talking about a place that's tough to live in.
Pretty sure it's got at least 4 teams in it.
So,
which is wild.
Kaprizov is a special hockey player, but Kaprizov, unlike a lot of North American players, has no issues playing in Russia. And he's got a 8-figure deal on the table with CSKA. So you're basically guaranteed to at least get to the Gagarin Cup final.
Oh.
And probably win it.
Walk.
Yeah. With Kaprizov, you're going to win.
Yes.
And I think at some point, I think they're probably asking him to match it. You want Kaprizov in the NHL, this is what it's going to take.
Well, I mean... Good for him in that, they put so many restrictions in place to stop players from making money. And, offer sheets. Well, who's going to do that? Who's going to offer 4 firsts and all that money? Who's going to do that? Mm-hmm. But he's got this unique position. Like the Darren Ferris thing with always saying my client's going to go play in Switzerland or whatever. It was a bit. It's funny, but you understand why he does it.
Right.
With Kaprizov, there's at least an air of he might actually do this.
Oh, yeah. You believe it.
And also, I think part of Guerin believes it too.
Well, and this is the interesting part. So I guess the number that's been bandied about is about $9 million a year. And Guerin said, we've made a very fair offer and we're not far apart. But that's just where we are. And he said, if you were to ask Paul, I forget who his agent is, Paul something, and then of course Paul Theophanos and then of course Curl, he said he might say something different, but that negotiation is going to be fascinating because if they don't get Kaprizov in uniform this year, they're down to 1 year next year. for their window.
It's not going to happen. Well, and that's
What do you mean it's not going to happen? They're not going to get him?
No, they're not going to lose him.
I think they're gonna have to capitulate. If the Leafs had to capitulate on Marner and Matthews, which is what they did, and arguably they did okay on.
They'll lose on the negotiation.
Yeah,
But they're not going to lose the player.
they have to get the
No,
player.
they put themselves in a position where, so there's this guy, he doesn't mind going there. He's got an enormous offer from Russia, and he knows I mean, Guerin's balls are in a vice because of the cap situation.
Yeah.
So pay me my money. I didn't ask you to do that.
Is there
Pay
a
it.
situation where Minnesota pays Kaprizov the money and it's a bad deal? Or is it just like
I don't know. I don't
He's
Can
the
you
star
look
of the franchise. You pay him whatever he wants.
Can you look up his stats?
It's 27 goals, 24 assists, 51 points, 55 games. Playoffs in 7 games, 2 goals, 1 assist.
I mean, say what you want about Marner's deal. He was an NHL player for 3 years leading up to it.
Yeah, and he just this guy just walks in and does that at 24.
Yeah,
So
that's Kaprizov's
It's
rookie
Panarin-esque.
season.
It's Panarin-esque.
Is there a scenario? Yeah, absolutely. He's got, what was it, 55 games?
55 games of NHL experience.
What 55 game player gets that kind of money?
But it's so unique for Kaprizov because he came in and he lights up the franchise. He's
Yep.
instantly the star of the Minnesota Wild. He's fastest player on the ice. Everybody loves him. So do you just, because you don't regret the deal if it's your franchise player. Like you can never you can never regret giving Alexander Ovechkin $50 million to play for the Washington Capitals because the amount of jerseys, the amount of what OV means to the Capitals, it's worth any dollar amount. So if Kaprizov is that to the Wild, then you don't regret the deal. But there's a
has to be
chance
that.
there's a chance he doesn't be that. It could become that.
There's a reason why no one in Toronto saw Matthews cap it and went, oh no. Like we were like, yeah, no, it's a superstar. Cool.
And if you're if you're his agent, you're looking at another 24-year-old, and you're going to have to compare. It's either Panarin, which is I think the direct comparable, Panarin at that age,
Yeah.
or you're looking at Marner.
Even
And-
Marner's younger than Kaprizov, is he not?
No, they're about 20. Well, I mean, maybe he is, but he's 24. Kaprizov is both 97s.
What was Kaprizov's draft year? Was it 15?
2015 fifth
Yeah.
round pick.
Both of
Okay,
them are
both of them.
15.
Fifth.
Man, the Leafs should have just. So here's the thing.
Yep.
Wow.
And Marner had 67 points in 55 games. You know, from a regular season standpoint, I know people are mad about the Marner contract, and we've had our issues with it. However, you know, the guy would have had 100 points this year,
Well, and Panarin
and
is-
Kaprizov will.
Pana-
right?
We hope.
You think like Panarin is making 11.6, but the deal he signed after his breakout rookie season was not 11.6.
Different era, though, right? Different
Yeah,
era.
different era, but
And a
this
team in-
guy's walking in and asking for 10.
Yeah, but the Blackhawks had Taves and King,
They sure did, and a lot more.
right? So they had guys to say, eh. I think.
Eh.
I also think that the way that RFAs are negotiated now versus then, very different. After what happened in Toronto with Marner and Matthews and Nylander, frankly, I think it's different. I think we've seen it. I think we see players are getting paid a little bit more now.
You know what? Good,
I'm not against that.
because
It bothers me against I'm not mad at the players. I'm mad at the hard cap. That's what I'm mad at.
What I was mad at is like friggin' Braden Point comes in and signs for like $5 or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and I'm like, are you joking me right now?
Yeah.
Are you actually joking me right now? And yes, the world changed, but now we're seeing the correction.
Yep.
If you guys are Bill Guerin, do you have a walk away point? Because if I was Bill Guerin, I don't.
Nope. Keep the door open
I
all
cave.
season.
I cave at the end. I give him what he wants.
Yeah. I mean, if he wants 11 and you want to give him 9, try to settle at 10. Does anyone hate Kaprizov at $10 million?
Kaprizov.
Is it any worse than Eichel? Is it any worse than what Taze is looking at if he doesn't come back? You know.
That's a funny name you brought up, Adam.
Well, that's the thing is he can go out and get Eichel if he wants.
Kaprizofalo.
Well, then then they can
You
pretty
like
much
that?
guarantee he's never coming back.
You might
to
as
the
well go
NHL.
play in Russia.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Although,
yeah, I
if you're
simply
Kevin
won't
Adams-
play is a really great no trade
Kevin
clause.
Adams could probably deal that to a team that would be able to pay him. Like I would say that San Jose would be a team if they could figure out a way to shed some salary that they're wild enough that they pay their stars in San Jose, right?
Now we're cooking with oil.
Right.
I like this. A 3-way trade involving Kaprizov and Eichel. Let's go.
And how do you get, you need to get warm bodies to play for the Sabres with experience. And San Jose has that. Like I don't know who's got a no trade clause there, but they got to turn it around quickly because listen, Erik Karlsson's not there for another rebuild.
Remember we did Who the Hell Plays Goal for the Coyotes?
You want to?
Who plays for the Sabres?
Okay, who play Sabres?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wanted to say San Jose. Do you know who plays for San Jose?
Yeah, Reimer.
And
Aiden Hill.
wow, well done.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a lot of their big players have no trades or like limited no trades, but if you look at like Brent Burns is a modified no trade, Vlasic has a no move. Karlsson has a no move.
What are you're trying to do?
Trying to figure out a
Eichel
deal.
or Kaprizov to San Jose?
I'm trying to figure out somehow where the Sabres provide. First off, they get a bunch of picks and prospects, whatever.
Yep.
They provide the salary cap room for San Jose to be able to take someone like that on, like a Kaprizov.
To take does Eichel go to Minnesota?
Yes.
So
in this scenario,
Eichel to Minnesota. Minnesota sends picks to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo sends Kaprizov to San
San
Jose.
Jose.
San Jose sends picks and players, whatever,
yeah,
to Buffalo.
and San Jose gives them the cap room. Or sorry, Buffalo gives
Is
them the cap room.
Buffalo is San Jose going for it this year?
No, but I think they want to turn it around quick because I still think that they have it.
All those big money guys, though, probably have modified at least no move
They do.
clauses.
They do.
Oh, God.
Even Brent Burns at modified no trade. Vlasic has a no move. Karlsson has a no move. Couture has a modified no trade. Kane has a modified no trade. Hurdle has a modified no trade. Benino with modified no trade.
So they have right now $2.6 million in projected cap space.
Who's this?
San Jose.
San Jose.
So they'll need to clear $8 million back in the trade.
What
So
I'd like to you could
pile up $8 million worth of contracts, and there's the deal.
So Hurdle is up, but two guys I'd be interested in if I'm Buffalo.
Hurdle could be involved in the deal, too.
Well, he could, but two guys I'd be very interested in if you want to take some serious money back. Like if you want to take $10 million back or $11 million, Hurdle, Kevin LeBlanc, and Nick Bonino. Because Kevin LeBlanc's got the future, right? He's 25.
Is it LeBanc?
LeBlanc, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why I saw the L there. Hurdle and then LeBlanc and then whatever.
Yeah.
But those are guys that's like, okay, there's a semblance of a team there. There's players there.
Can we play who's the goalies for Buffalo? Because I think I remember.
You're still on that.
Let me see.
Well, because if I'm not mistaken, they don't have a goalie who makes more than league min. I'm serious.
You would be correct. Who are they?
Aaron Dell and Craig Anderson.
You are correct.
Nice. Good
Oh
memory.
my God. Well, and Juha Pekka-Luukkonen in the minors, who has not been great. Oof, Marone.
It's a tough. Woo! It's tough.
Wow.
But
Wow.
they
Anyways,
need warm. What I'm saying is they need warm bodies.
On your trade, I don't hate the Kevin LeBanc and Hurdle back to Buffalo.
But how do you keep Hurdle, right? Benino's got the longer contract, but you need Bonino for
I think if
depth.
you're Buffalo, you want expiring.
Do you?
Right? Yeah. Then you flip him again at the trade deadline.
Oh, good point.
You know,
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't
it's
mind
the
that.
Arizona model. You just keep flipping everybody.
you're a bus stop.
Exactly.
Buffalo is a bus stop this year. This,
But
yeah,
there's-
long term fart.
There's a trade there.
Fart.
No, but it's like the Sens from a couple years ago. It's like we are going to keep you here because we have to.
Yeah.
We need to dress somebody.
Yeah.
There's a trade there if you really want to
So
work it out.